So if you were to ask younger me what he wanted at this age, or really just out of life in general, he wouldn't even really know what to tell you, right? When younger me was a wee little kid, he always had a lot of ideas, a lot of things, a lot of interest, playing video games, drawing, art, design, content creation, YouTube. I always had like my hands in everything. I always wanted to be basically like the jack of all trades. And I've realized now that like becoming the jack of all trades means you become the master of none, meaning that your ability to do everything, but because that attention is so spread out between different things, there's no direct focus to one thing, which means that as great as you may be at being able to, do this and do that and do this, you can't really claim that you're just very, very specifically good at one particular thing. And I've noticed this throughout my life, significantly, especially with the world that we're in now. It's like whenever you go on your phone or you open up social media, you see people telling you, hey, start an online business. Hey, be a content creator. Hey, be a rapper, be an athlete, be whatever. And I've realized that a lot of that stuff is just not for me, man. But along with that, I've realized the amount of distractions that I let get in the way of me becoming anything, you know. Um, as of recently, I've been playing a video game that I'm sure many of you guys may know, some of you may not. It's called Elden Ring, okay? Elden Ring. Did I say that right? I think it's Elden Ring, yeah. This game is, to break it down, an open world RPG. You explore, you beat bosses, you get armor, you get weapons, you get loot, you get all the cool stuff, right? And I've realized that there's a really big correlation between this game and my life, right? And what I mean by that is the idea of consistently fighting a boss, knowing that you're probably going to die multiple times, but eventually at some point you're going to get it right. I think it correlates so much to the idea that in life, when you try to do hard things, you're going to suck at them very badly at the start. But eventually, you learn the method, you learn the strategy, and you get better at it. And it's one of those things I've kind of had to learn to be one of the best ways to live life. I will suck at whatever I start that's new. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen. But if I can somehow overpower that and become the best version that allows me to complete it, despite knowing that I'm probably going to suck at the very beginning of it, I can get past anything. And there's a lot of times where when I'm going through this game and I'm beating bosses and I'm getting all these cool armor sets, all these cool weapons, and then I realize like, man, what if I just like correlated this to my real life? you know? It's like what if I just simply decided to say, "Hey, well, you know, this content thing is a big dragon, right? Like I got to constantly put content out. I got to constantly, engage with the algorithm and all these other great things. Like what if I just put in the same amount of work I use to beat this dragon that it's extremely hard to beat sometimes, mind you. Like it'd be like you can see the clip right here, like I'm getting cooked, what I'm saying? I'm riding my little horse, still losing, but I still come back, you know? And recently there's been some areas of my life I've been really working on. Going to the gym is definitely one of them. It's one of those things that I'm beginning to realize, like the idea of getting stronger and the idea of proving my strength or improving my strength is something I've wanted to do for such a long time. And sometimes I think it's great to have a circle of people that want to push you to do just that. And it's something that younger me really wishes he had a lot more of. He might have had it, but I don't think he was really aware. I don't think he was really aware of how much support he might have actually had. He was always so focused on trying to get home to play video games, to absorb himself into this world, this imaginary world where he doesn't have to think so much about who he is as a person outside of it. You know, um, and I think like I said, like video games have always been like an escape for me, and creativity has always been an escape for me because I don't have to really be so absorbed with who I am as an individual. I basically gave myself the permission to be someone else entirely different whenever I was focusing on what I was focusing on. If I was playing video games, I gave myself permission to be the knight that rides on the horse and that's conquering all these bosses in hopes that at the end he becomes whatever title they gave me. I think in this game it's like the Elden Lord, so it's like the guy that conquered everything and now he's the ruler. Um, when I think about a creative project, I give myself permission to be the person who is solely piecing together the art to make the desired outcome, you know? Um, and I think about stuff like this so much, especially now, because I realize how much of my life I never gave. I think about how much of my life I never gave myself permission to simply just enjoy and immerse myself in because I was so unhappy with who I was as an individual. And um, it sucks. It sucks a lot, especially when you're younger. You're at that very impressionable age where you just want to be liked and noticed. And the fact that I just never gave myself the chance to do that definitely sucked. So, if I had any takeaway for this video, if you watched it all the way through, if you got to hear anything I said, I want it to be live life, okay? There's going to be distractions. Do your best to avoid them at all costs because they will cost you the ability to create the life that you want to live if you cannot avoid them. But at the same time, don't always distract yourself, okay? Learn that it is perfectly okay to be in the moment, and it's going to suck. Sometimes it's going to be weird. Sometimes you're going to be like, man, this is so odd. Like, what am I doing? Like, I feel like I'm not even here right now. Like, I really don't even want to be here right now. But it does get better with time. The more you put the distractions away, the more you focus on the person you want to become and unlocking that next level of potential that you know you have, the people around you know that you have, and all you have to do is get started, man. You know? So I want that to be takeaway. So get started.